authentic conversations about ourselves and our community, exploring topics that uplift and inspire us. From personal growth to social change. So grab your teacup and get ready to join the conversation. We are live on this Thursday morning. Today, unfortunately, we have a sad story to cover. A 37-year-old mother from Colorado living and residing in Minneapolis was shot and murdered by a ICE agent in Minneapolis. So I am very sorry to bring this tragic story to the Tea Talk tribe this morning. However, it is on the tea topics. Okay. So thank you everybody for tuning in. Now I know you guys can hear me. Okay. So let's get into what happened. Tensions are flaring in Minneapolis after an immigration and customs enforcement officer fatally shot a 37-year-old woman on Wednesday. The conflicting messages from feds and local officials. The Department of Homeland Security alleges the woman was attempting to run over our law enforcement officers when the officers shot her. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem claimed it was an act of domestic terrorism and argued that the vehicle was used as a deadly weapon.
Davis Coloni.
But the Minnesota government and Minneapolis mayor are disputing the government's claims, with the mayor saying that according to the videos, the victim, Renee Good, wasn't driving her car toward the agent or using it as a weapon. This was an agent recklessly using power that resulted in somebody losing their life, getting ill, Mayor Jacob Frey said. Okay, the shooting victim survived by wife, 6-year-old child, Wall says. Renee Good is survived by her wife and her 6-year-old child, according to Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, who said during the press briefing that he offers his deepest sympathies to her family on an unimaginable tragedy. Okay. Very difficult that we get a fair outcome. That we would get a fair outcome. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz says it feels very difficult that we will get a fair outcome in the FBI's probe into the deadly shooting. We have learned that Trump administration has now denied the state that ability to participate in the investigation. And I just want to make this clear as possible to everyone. Minnesota must be a part of this investigation, he said during a press briefing on Thursday. Walz said that a thorough investigation by nonpartisan professionals is the only way to determine what really happened. Renee Good was a 2020 graduate from Old Dominion University in Virginia, according to the school's president, Brian Hemphill, who said it was with great sadness that Old Dominion University mourns the loss of one of their own. She graduated from College of Arts and Letters with a degree in English, according to Hemphill. May Renee's life will be a reminder of what unites us: freedom, love, and peace. He said in a statement, "My hope is for compassion, healing, and a reflection at a time that is becoming one of the darkest and most uncertain periods in our nation's history." Noem says ICE officer who shot and killed woman is experienced. The Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem said the ICE officer involved in the deadly shooting is experienced, though did not go into further detail during a press briefing in New York on Thursday. "I'm not going to get specific to this officer, but he's an experienced officer," she said, "that has served a number of years, and we recognize that he acted according to training," she says. She doubled down on her assertion that the officer was responding to an act of domestic terrorism. Minnesota says it's been pushed out from taking part in the Outraged probe with the FBI. State officials said the FBI is now solely leading the investigation into the deadly ICE shooting after they were denied access to the case materials. According to the Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension, the BCA, Superintendent Drew Evans, in the wake of the shooting, The state and FBI were conducting a joint investigation, but that later that day, he said in a statement, the FBI informed the BCA that the U.S. Attorney's Office had reversed course. The investigation would now be led solely by the FBI, and the BCA would no longer have access to the case materials, scene evidence, or investigative interviews necessary to complete a thorough independent investigation. Without that access, Evans said, the BCA cannot meet the investigative standards that Minnesota law and the public demands, and has reluctantly withdrawn from the investigation. We accept the FBI to conduct a thorough and complete investigation, and that the full investigative file will be shared with the appropriate prosecutorial authorities at both the state and federal levels, he said. So, ICE operations ongoing in Minnesota. Acting director says U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement continued operations in the state an hour after Wednesday's deadly looting in Minneapolis, according to acting ICE director Todd Lyons. We continued operations in Minnesota where there today we're still conducting operations, our daily law enforcement mission in all 50 states and territories right now. We're going to keep doing the work, he told Fox News on Thursday. Lyons said ICE has the largest contingent of ICE officers they have ever deployed on one city. What does Minneapolis have going on? He also called the looting totally avoidable and placed the blame on elected officials calling ICE names. So these individuals that are listening to the political rhetoric and following these guidance to go out there and impede on us, threaten officers, be legal observers, as they say, Lyon said, just not right. They shouldn't interject themselves in a potentially deadly situation, as we clearly see that's what happened. Lyon said that they will be ramping up operations in cities with a high concentration of those in the U.S. illegally, but did not say where. Colorado, we probably next. Okay, so that is a current up to date understanding of what happened to Miss Renee Good in Minneapolis. She was ought and murdered by ICE agents, okay, in her car. So we have some video, okay, of what's all. So let me share my screen and get that up here for y'all. 1 second. And I'm going to urge you, this is very disturbing content. Please remove all small children that should not be subjected to this level of violence out of hearing range. Thank you, T Talk Tribe.
No! No! Oh my God! What the? What the? You just? What the did you do? No! No! Oh my God! What the? What the? You just? What the did you do? No! No! Oh my!
Does it appear that he was going to be in any type? I can't slow this down on Facebook, unfortunately. Um, does it appear, T Talk Tribe, that this ICE agent was in imminent danger of really being physically hurt? Let's take a look at this again. Okay. Nobody's in front of her vehicle, right? Now he's walking up to her vehicle. What's the cause of the reason instead of letting her drive away safely and alive? What's the cause of them walking up to her vehicle trying to detain her? Why is he trying to detain her here? Why is he doing this?
No!
Why is he doing this? She's trying to leave the scene because if she was trying to hit the officer, she could have revved his direction, right?
No!
Oh my God. Now, this is the officer here that ought her. This is the officer that unalived her. Okay. Oh my God. So she took the direction of fleeing instead of the direction of trying to harm them.
Oh my God!
Because let's think about it logically, right? If she was trying to hurt them, she would have backed her truck up. Okay, look, she would have took her car, follow my mouse, in the direction of them, like the direction that her tires were going, right? Her tires are going left, but she put them in the right forward moving motion and went the
No!
opposite way of the ICE agents. And they murdered her.
Oh my God! What the? What the?
They murdered her.
You just what the did you do?
They murdered that woman.
No! No!
And I'm guessing that maybe her wife, I think they said her wife was in the passenger seat, maybe got out for whatever reason. I don't know. Maybe to, engage in the protests of the ICE agents' presence in Minneapolis.
Oh my God! What the? What the? You just what the did you do? No! No! Oh my God! What the? What the? You just what the did you do? No! No! Oh my God! What the? What the? You just what the did you do?
That's pretty terrible. That's pretty terrible. Our next.
Can I go check the pulse?
No! Back up! Now!
So this says breaking video footage shows moments ICE deny a doctor access to provide medical aid to the victim in today's ICE shooting in Minneapolis, Minnesota. As bystanders ask where the medics are, okay.
Position.
Hey, listen, we understand. We got EMS coming, and I get it. Just give us a second. We have medics on scene. We have our own medics.
Where are they? Where are they?
So they're saying they have their own medic team to help her. However, they're not on scene there.
How can I relax? You just killed my fucking neighbor. You cut butter in the fucking face. You killed my fucking neighbor. How do you show
Okay, this is her neighbor. This is
up to work every day? How the fuck do you do this every day? You're killing my neighbors. You're stealing my neighbors. What the fuck, man?
Wow, she said they're stealing her neighbors. So obviously this may be an area of high immigrative illegal immigrants.
Man,
Can Can I go check a pulse?
No! Back up! Now!
I'm a physician.
Hey, listen, we understand. We got EMS coming, and I get it. Just give us a second. We have medics on scene. We have our own medics.
Where are they? Where are they? How can I relax? You just killed my fucking neighbor. You caught butter in the fucking face. You killed my fucking neighbor. How do you show up to work every day? How the fuck do you do this every day? You're killing my neighbors. You're stealing my neighbors. What the fuck, man?
Can I go check a pulse?
No! Back up!
The doctor is saying, can I go check a pulse? That is a actual doctor on the scene. Look at this lady. Look at this lady. She is slumped in her car from being ought by ICE agents in front of everybody. And she's not an illegal alien. She didn't appear. Y'all drop it down in the chat what y'all think y'all may have saw, going on TikTok tribe. But from what I'm seeing, she was going the other direction of where the ICE agents were actually standing to run them over.
Back up! Now!
I'm a physician.
Hey, listen, we understand. We got EMS coming, and I get it. Just give us a second.
Wow.
We have medics on scene. We have our own medics.
Where are they? Where are they? How can I relax? You just killed my fucking neighbor. You caught butter in the fucking face. You killed my fucking neighbor. How do you show up to work every day? How the fuck do you do this every day? You're killing my neighbors. You're stealing my neighbors. What the fuck, man?
Wow. Devastatingly bad. Okay. Devastating.
Can I go check a pulse?
So agents blocked the doctor from helping the woman that was fatally out by ICE. How can anyone defend ICE for killing that young lady? They say at WDRS/FM radio. Watch the video of the ICE shooting. Pay close attention to the ICE agent that shot the woman in the head. Was he in danger? That's what I'm asking you. Was he in danger?
No! Back up! Now!
I'm a physician.
Hey, listen, we understand. We got EMS.
Don't care. The ICE agents say they do not care that a physician is actually on scene and can potentially save this woman if possible. And they do not care. They do not care.
I get it. Just give us a second. We have medics on scene. We have our own medics.
Where are they? Where are they? How can I relax? You just killed my neighbor. You caught butter in the.
They're telling people to relax when a very tragic incident unfolded right in front.
Face! You killed my neighbor. How do you show up to work every day? How the do you do this every day? You're killing my neighbors. You're stealing my neighbors. What the man?
Can I go?
Minnesota ooting. What we know, the victim was Renee Good, was a well-known ICE protester. She was not, this is what John Ritchie says, okay? That she was not a resident of Minnesota. She had previously blocked ICE agents with her vehicle. ICE agents were attempting to leave the area. Miss Good was the lead vehicle in a caravan that had planned to block ICE. ICE officers asked Good to remove her vehicle. When she refused, the ICE agent told her to exit the vehicle and be placed under arrest. Miss Good then attempted to evade arrest and flee. In her attempt to escape, she drove her vehicle directly at an ICE officer. You guys tell me down in the chat, is that your outlook on what happened, as well as Mr. John Ritchie's account of what he saw?
It was.
So this is a DHS Secretary Christy Noem on ICE-involved looting in Minnesota. So the ICE officers were out in an enforcement action. They got stuck in the snow because of the adverse weather, she says, that is in Minneapolis. They were attempting to push out their vehicle, and a woman attacked them and those surrounding them and attempted to run them over and ram them with her vehicle. This is what she says. Her officers acted quickly and defensively, ought to protect himself and the people around him. And her understanding is that she was hit and is unalive. These vehicle rammings are domestic acts of terrorism, she says. Let's listen to this T-Talk Drive.
An act of domestic terrorism. What happened was our ICE officers were out in an enforcement action. They got stuck in the snow because of the adverse weather that is in Minneapolis. They were attempting to push out their vehicle, and a woman attacked them and those surrounding them and attempted to run them over and ram them with her vehicle. An officer of ours acted quickly and defensively shot to protect himself and the people around him. And my understanding is that she was hit and is deceased. We're continuing to gather more information, but this goes to show the assaults that our ICE officers and our law enforcement are under every single day. These vehicle rammings are domestic acts of terrorism. We're working with the Department of Justice to prosecute them as such. We will continue to protect our ICE officers and in cooperation with other law enforcement agencies as well.
Okay, let's go back. Let's go back, okay? She says that
it was an act of domestic terrorism. What happened was our ICE officers were out in an enforcement action. They got stuck in the snow because of the adverse weather that is in Minneapolis. They were attempting to push out their vehicle. And
okay, let's stop that there, okay? That's what she says was going on. So from our first video, this is the actual video. Again, warning, it is disturbing content. Okay, where's the snow on the actual street where they are? This is them. Where is any drop of snow besides what the cars have put on the snow on the street from their tire? Where is the snow that they are digging themselves out of to continue to drive down the street? Where is it? Okay, that's what she says there, right? Woo. That's wicked work. So this is the actual ooting in slow motion. Ooh, if anything, he would have gotten his toe ran over. If anything, he would have got his toe ran over, right? Okay, do you see that there? Watch closely right here. Okay. If anything, she sideswiped him. I just did a video recently on body cams where Black women have been refusing to do this and refusing to do that, you know, trying to bring some sense of awareness of how we all should, you know, be when we are being stopped by the police. And a woman actually ran over a police officer in one of those videos. They did not oot and ill her. They did not unalive this lady. This lady, however, was murdered for this reason. Let's watch it in slow motion. She barely sideswiped him with her car. Even if she would have got away, right? What harm would it have done? Wouldn't a mother and a woman, a human being, still been alive? Now let's stop it. Again, this is very disturbing, so it is a trigger warning for those, okay, that may be triggered. Okay, 1 minute 30 seconds. 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 1 minute 30 secon said, if anything, he would have got his toe ran over at worst. Very, 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 very sad to see happen. Watch this one more. This is the second sighting. So again, he did kind of get a little razzle dazzle on the front of his body, or however have you. But like I said, it just didn't appear that it should have went to that extent. So now we have Mr. Roland Martin breaking down a little bit more of his account of what transpired and took place. We're not going to listen to the entire thing because it gets kind of lengthy, but we are going to listen to some. Okay, so let's listen into Mr. Roland Martin.
Gunned someone down, this time in Minneapolis. It took place there with a confrontation with ICE officers. Now, the Department of Homeland Security, they literally tried to say that violent rioters weaponized a vehicle who attempted to run officers over. Folks, that's an absolute lie. This is the actual video of the shooting.
You! Shame! 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 Dude, what's happening to her? What happened? Dude, you shot her! I'm trying to help! No! No! You fucking shot someone in the fucking face! You shot someone in the fucking face! Do you have a conscience? Do you have a conscience? Don't let the murderer leave! Don't let the murderer leave! You guys are the fucking criminals! You don't get to tell us what to do! Fucking criminals! Don't let him leave! Don't let him leave!
Pussy motherfuckers, man.
No! Get the fuck out of our neighborhood! Yeah, it's a fucking crime. We fucking know it. We're here. Yeah, like what the absolute fuck, man? What the absolute fuck? Do you have a conscience? Do you have a conscience? Do you have a conscience? This is the time, man. This is the time to have a conscience. This is not okay. This is not okay.
We have got to the point where literally anybody can build a fully working app with
Get a fucking conscience.
Can you look at me? Tell me you're doing the right thing. Get the fuck out of here, bro. You didn't fire any weapons. Fucking your people did, man.
In the head. In the head.
I didn't do anything.
And she drove me to the floor.
Murderer. You. Look at me. Look at me. You can't even.
Watch out, man. Watch out.
Why don't you look at me? I thought you could do it. Do it. You know you're so good. No, you're fine. You can stay here. If you move somewhere, just let me know where you're going.
You okay, mommy?
Now, folks, here's this video from another angle. Watch this.
Get the fuck out of our neighborhood. Outdoor.
What the fuck? Dude, what the fuck? Dude, you did a murder for what?
Now, folks, Kristi Noem, who was the Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security, went on Fox News. This is what she said. This is how she described what took place in Minneapolis. You just saw the video. Here's what she said.
You asked about a shooting that we just had in Minneapolis, Minnesota. It was an act of domestic terrorism. What happened, it was our ICE officers were out in enforcement action. They got stuck in the snow because of the adverse weather that is in Minneapolis. They were attempting to push out their vehicle, and a woman attacked them and those surrounding them and attempted to run them over and ram them with her vehicle. An officer of ours acted quickly and defensively shot to protect himself and the people around him. And my understanding is that she was hit and is deceased. We're continuing to gather more information, but this goes to show the assaults that our ICE officers and our law enforcement are under every single day. These vehicle rammings are domestic acts of terrorism. We're working with the Department of Justice to prosecute them as such. We will continue to protect our ICE officers and in cooperation with other law enforcement agencies as well.
Folks, what you just heard was an absolute lie. So I want y'all to cue up the video, the first video we played, the 4.5-minute video. Okay. And so she said, this is what she said. She said, oh, the officers were trying to get the vehicle out of the snow. In fact, so before I do that, I'm gonna do this here. This is the actual tweet that the Department of Homeland Security also posted. Today, ICE officers in Minneapolis were conducting targeted operations when rioters began blocking ICE officers, and one of these violent rioters weaponized her vehicle, attempting to run over our law enforcement officers in an attempt to kill them. An act of domestic terrorism. An ICE officer, fearing for his life, the lives of his fellow law enforcement, and the safety of the public, fired defensive shots. He used his training and saved his own life and that of his fellow officers. The alleged perpetrator was hit and is deceased. The ICE officers who were hurt are expected to make full recoveries. I want y'all to listen to that. This is the direct consequence of constant attacks and demonization of our officers by sanctuary politicians who fuel and encourage rampant assaults on our law enforcement, who are facing 1,300% increase in assaults against them and an 8,000% increase in death threats. This is an evolving situation, and we will give the public more information as soon as it becomes available. That's literally what they tweeted out. Okay, so this is what they tweeted. Then, of course, the liar in chief, Donald Trump, posted this on his Truth Social. I have just viewed the clip of the event which took place in Minneapolis, Minnesota. It is a horrible thing to watch. The woman screaming was obviously a professional agitator, and the woman driving the car was very disorderly, obstructing and resisting, who then violently, willfully, and viciously ran over the ICE officer who seems to have shot her in self-defense. Based on the attached clip, it is hard to believe he is alive, but is now recovering in the hospital. Okay, and he said a whole bunch of other crap. All right, now play the video again. I want you to bring the audio down, and so when play the video where the car pulls up. Okay, stop right there. Pause it right there. Okay, let it go further. Pause it. Okay, right there, Kristi Noem live. She literally said they were trying to dig themselves out of the snow. Y'all can see there's no snow on that street. The street had already been cleared. You see it right there. So that's an absolute lie that she told. Okay, now press play. They're approaching her car. Freeze it right here. Freeze it. Okay, they're approaching her car. The officer walks up and immediately tries to pull the car door open. Press play. Now freeze it right there. Now you already see she was already in reverse. Okay, you saw the brake lights. So she pulls back. Press play.
Monday.com, the opposite of any work platform we tried in the past. We tried other work management platforms.
Stop. Freeze it right there. So you have two officers. One officer in front of this guard. So this guy fires a shot. Okay, fires a shot. Press play. And fires more shots at her. Now look at the officer. He's walking. Now, if you fast forward it, what you're going to see is maybe there's another angle. I think I'd seen it. It's another angle where the officer, he's walking back to his car. So Trump is lying. Noem is lying. The officers were not injured. They were not run over. It's flat out lies. Flat out lies. Now, here's what's even worse. Huffington Post has been given a video. Let me know if y'all have it. If you don't have it, please let me know. The folks at Huffington Post got a video where a doctor came on the scene, and they refused to allow the doctor to see the woman. They refused to allow it. In fact, it took 15 minutes before police would allow, before an ambulance arrived. They would not, the ambulance was blocked because of police cars. So the paramedics had to run on foot to treat the woman. Yeah, that actually happened. And again, goes to show you what we're dealing with here. And these folks have been lying. So immediately, conservative media and others, they jumped at it. Oh my God, they're attacking ICE. Nope, that's not what happened. We saw flat out exactly what happened and how this woman was murdered by the ICE agents. The reaction was quick. It was swift. The mayor of Minneapolis was absolutely angry. Here is Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey.
There's a lot of information that is swirling around right now, and we collectively are going to do everything possible to get to the bottom of this, to get justice, and to make sure that there is an investigation that is conducted in full. But what we do know is that a 37-year-old woman is dead. and that she was shot by ICE. We've dreaded this moment since the early stages of this ICE presence in Minneapolis. Not only is this a concern that we've had internally, we've been talking about it. They are not here to cause safety in this city. What they are doing is not to provide safety in America. What they are doing is causing chaos and distrust. They're ripping families apart. They're sowing chaos on our streets. And in this case, quite literally killing people. So they are already trying to spin this as an action of self-defense. Having seen the video of myself, I want to tell everybody directly, that is bullshit. This was an agent recklessly using power that resulted in somebody dying, getting killed. As soon as it happened and we learned of the incident, we had several priorities. The first, of course, was to get the victim to the hospital and to get care as soon as possible. To the family, I'm so deeply sorry. There's nothing that I can say right now that's going to make you or your relatives or the friends of the victim feel any better. There were, I believe, 2 Minneapolis police officers that responded and were in the ambulance on the way to the hospital. The second was to get ICE off of the scene. There were dozens, if not hundreds, of ICE and federal officers that were there at the time. Having them there was only causing more chaos. Having them there was only making a difficult situation even more problematic, and one that, yes, they created themselves. There's little I can say, again, that'll make this situation better, but I do have a message for our community, for our city, and I have a message for ICE. To ICE, get the fuck out of Minneapolis. We do not want you here. Your stated reason for being in this city is to create some kind of safety, and you are doing exactly the opposite. People are being hurt. Families are being ripped apart. Long-term Minneapolis residents that have contributed so greatly to our city, to our culture, to our economy are being terrorized, and now somebody is dead. That's on you. And it's also on you to leave. It's on you to make sure that further damage, further loss of life and injury is not done. We're going to be working towards justice as quickly as we possibly can right now, and justice is what we've all got to get. Next, a message to our community.
What if you can create your own website by saying, this is what I want? With Wix, you can.
Look, we all know that the agenda of this Trump administration is to create chaos. Let us respond right now with our best versions of self. This is a moment where all of us in Minneapolis and beyond, we can rise to the occasion. We can show them who we are. We can show them the kind of courage, bravery, love, and compassion that makes Minneapolis, Minneapolis, and that makes America, America. We are better than a bunch of ICE agents being deployed to cities around the country and ripping apart families and communities. We're better than that. And so we are going to meet that hate with love. We are going to meet that despair with hope. We are going to meet that injustice with constitutional justice ourselves. And we're going to make sure that in this very difficult moment, we do not take the bait that these ICE agents are trying to create and that the federal government, to be clear, wants. They want us to respond in a way that creates a military occupation in our city. They want an excuse to come in and show the kind of force that will create more chaos and more despair. Let's not let them. Let's rise to this occasion. Let's show them something far more beautiful than the kind of division that they're trying to stoke. Let's show them unity of purpose, of love, and the courage of our conviction. Our conviction, to be clear, is rock solid, and it is for our neighbors, all of our neighbors. It's for people who have lived here for 80 years. It is for new immigrants who have made this city a better place. That's the kind of love that we're going to show up with right now. If you're angry, I get it. I am too. If you're feeling that kind of despair, it's understandable. Let's show them who we can be. Let's show up with peace. To march, to protest, to hug one another, to love all the way with peace. Do not give them what they want. Finally, we've got a lot of work that needs to happen right now to make sure that, first, of course, the scene was secured as much as possible, that we were able to get the victim, now deceased, to the hospital. We've got a lot of work to do in the coming days. I want to thank our city enterprise for the work that they have done, but more importantly, what they're about to do, because this is going to be heavy and our city has been through a lot. We also know that we're prepared to do right for people.
All right, folks, this is how Minnesota Governor Tim Walz responded in his news conference after this murder.
This morning, we learned that an ICE officer shot and killed someone in Minneapolis. My deepest condolences to the family, to the loved ones who had to learn about this tragic event on national television. We have been warning for weeks that the Trump administration's dangerous, sensationalized operations are a threat to our public safety, that someone was going to get hurt. Just yesterday, I said exactly that. What we're seeing is the consequences of governance designed to generate fear, headlines, and conflict. It's governing by reality TV. And today that recklessness cost someone their life. I've reached out to Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem, and I'm waiting to hear back. Let me be clear. Donald Trump and his administration may not care much about Minnesota. That's been pretty evident. But we love this state. We won't let them tear us apart. We'll not turn against each other. To Minnesotans, I say this. I feel your anger. I'm angry. They want a show. We can't give it to them. We cannot. If you protest and express your First Amendment rights, please do so peacefully, as you always do. We can't give them what they want. The hearts and minds of the people in this state are on our side. To Americans, I ask you this. Please stand with Minneapolis. To Minnesotans, know that our administration is going to stop at nothing to seek accountability and justice. The State Bureau of Criminal Apprehension are working on the investigation. We have activated the State Emergency Operations Center. State Patrol and Minnesota National Guard leadership is connected with the Minneapolis Police Department, the St. Paul Police Department, Hennepin County Sheriff's Office, the DNR, and Minnesota's Homeland Security and Emergency Management. We have activated dozens of members of the State Patrol's mobile response team. And from here on, I have a very simple message. We do not need any further help from the federal government. To Donald Trump and Kristi Noem, you've done enough. There's nothing more important than Minnesotan safety. I've issued a warning order to prepare the Minnesota National Guard. We have soldiers in training and prepared to be deployed if necessary. I remind you, a warning order is a heads up for folks. And these National Guard troops are our National Guard troops. They're teachers in your community. They're business owners. They're construction professionals. They are Minnesotans. Minnesota will not allow our community to be used as a prop in a national political fight. We will not take the bait.
Folks, again, just shocking and stunning, and the lies continue to come out of the White House as they try to cover all of this up. Our panel is Rebecca Carruthers, President, CEO, Fair Election Center out of D.C., Tyler McMillan, Social Justice Leader and Movement Strategist, out of DC. Joy Chaney, founder of Joy Strategies out of DC. Rebecca, I'll start with you. I mean, it's just lies, 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 pure and simple from Trump's White House. No shock, because he's a liar in chief.
Well, first, Happy New Year, Roland. So with talking with some folks on the ground and getting messages like on my phone, just getting, asking people, hey, what are you hearing on the ground? Especially to your point earlier, the stark contrast with what the administration is saying that is lies and very inaccurate. Even the idea that this person was protesting, as you can see in that video, and what I'm hearing from folks on the ground, that there is no reports that there was a formal protest that was happening. But even saying that this person was a domestic terrorist, once again, there's no, first of all, a domestic terrorist, there really isn't that designation by the federal government in this country, and they're not even able to prove it. So they're just saying words. What this reminds me of, I had a conversation with a colleague last year, and they said, look, we're in a slow-moving civil war. It started at Charlottesville, and quite frankly, it's a war between white people versus white people, just like the last civil war that we had. And so what's interesting as a Black person observing and seeing what's happening is a white woman was killed today. And yes, they're trying to paint her as super liberal because also in that car was her wife, because this was a white woman who happened to be a lesbian. And the reason why I bring that is that we know this administration is going to try to other her. They're going to try to say she was extremely radicalized. They're going to say all sorts of things. And so I'm curious what white people are going to do in this country when they see one another being killed by this fascist regime.
We sat there and we watched Tylik as Trump and Noam lied, talking about the injuries. This is the officer who shot and killed this woman. Oh my God. How did he survive? It doesn't look like he's having serious issues with walking. Again, but that's how they actually lie.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would say the only domestic terrorists that we have seen in this country lately is those who insurrected the Capitol and who was marching here in Washington. And I think when we look at this case, when federal agents kill civilians and walk free, I think the message is really clear. It says that some lives are expendable in the name of enforcement, and that Black lives and folks' lives, immigrant lives, continue to live under this constant surveillance and this fear and this militarization of their communities. And I think we are now growing up in a country still the same, just in a different fashion, from where state violence is normalized against the most vulnerable and impacted communities. And I think this is not a matter of public safety, but it's really a matter of state terror. And this is what ICE agents are doing across our country. And no badge should grant anyone the right to kill without consequence. And I think we must abolish systems that continue to prioritize control over humanity. And our communities deserve safety from these type of armed agents. That it requires care and resources and trust. And as the mayor said, quite frankly, they need to get the fuck out of our communities. And I couldn't echo that even more.
Joy, the woman's name is Renee Nicole Good. She was 37 years old and a mother of 3.
Yeah. And to think, I mean, when she woke up this morning, she was just going about her business, right? Of daily living, being a wife, being a mother, et cetera, being a citizen, and somehow found herself in the crosshairs of someone. To me, what I saw when I saw that video, I thought, like, how many times could you just be in the middle of the street? You have people screaming at you, yelling at you. You're just simply trying to get away, and that someone would shoot you. There was no threat. Watch the video over and over again. I know in the coming days, many people will say a lot, but the benefit of this time that we're in is that you don't have to listen to what other people say, including any of us on here. You can just watch it yourself. This man was not at risk. He took out his gun prior to her moving her car in his direction. So he was poised to try to take lethal action against her. And what I found alarming is that he approached the scene, but then he also left the scene. You know, I don't know if we could see whether he just moved out in front or he left it all together, but I hope that it's been clear that he should not leave the state of Minnesota. He is certainly, I'm sure he's being deposed right now by the law enforcement there and by federal officials. But what they're saying about him is obviously a lie. We can see it with our own eyes. And, you know, it's funny. I thought we were supposed to protect white women. This is a white woman like you all. You know, and not like us. We know they don't care about us. But this is someone that's like you. Donald Trump has separated even the white community. And this is why we have to take a stand together. Because if sane people who saw what they saw and know that's wrong can come together with the rest of us, then, you know, then there's nothing that can stop us. We have a civil war that's quickly, a cold war that's quickly becoming a hot one. And I think we saw it today. It was bound to happen.
Indeed. Also, folks, on New Year's Eve, 43-year-old Keith Porter was fatally shot by an off-duty ICE agent in Los Angeles following celebratory gunfire outside of his home there. Porter's family is calling for a thorough investigation. The family attorney told a local news station there's no evidence that Porter fired a weapon towards the agent and questions whether the off-duty officer was justified in responding before police arrived. DHS claims the off-duty ICE agent acted in self-defense. The LAPD is investigating. All right, folks.
Hello, I'm Isaac Hayes III.
This don't look good for Trump and his ICE movement. Tell me where you are with this current situation that unfolded yesterday on January 7th, Wednesday, 2026. A woman was fatally by a ICE law enforcement agent. You know, her car was in the middle of the street, but were there other ways that this could have unfolded? Okay, where she walked away with her life back to her family. Our prayers go out to her family and friends and the community of Minneapolis, and we pour out our saving grace to that community in hopes that they find solace in this very unfortunate situation. This is Tanisha Talks Teas. Thank you for watching Tea Talk Tribe. Please remember to stay safe and stay sipping. Until next time, have a great day.
Thanks for watching. Remember to show your support by liking, subscribing, and sharing. It's a blessing. Keep your teacups filled and ready for my next upload. Until then, stay inspired and remember, always stay sipping.